They're so powerful. As a British statesman said, Lord Acton, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So these are organizations where the cleaning of house needs to happen. Of course, I don't think these organizations should be abolished. And you can say in summation that this kind of is a PR film for MI6 that is under scrutiny right now inside the UK. So that's probably the one little poison kernel within the larger mountain of truth. That's it for this review of Spectre.
Did you know that only 6 corporations control 90% of what millions of Americans see, hear, and read every single day? It's the illusion of choice. Think about it. The mainstream media is owned by only a handful of megacorporations with vested interests. But on the other hand, the internet is an interconnected network of billions of sources. So you can research information for yourself from multiple sources, or you can blindly accept what you hear or read in the mainstream media, never questioning what you are being told. This gives you a false sense of reality. I mean, do you actually know what you think you know? Or have you been programmed to accept someone else's version of events? Think about it. This is Darren McBreen, and I want you to break the matrix at INFOWARS.com and PrisonPlanet.tv and listen to The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on your mind.
And all you ISIS people threatening us, hey, we're not a French newspaper, okay? We got people that have taken your asses out in this building right now. We're armed to the teeth, and we're not scared. You got that, you sons of bitches? This is Texas. You want to threaten me, you can go straight to hell. You understand that?
Never water yourself down just because someone can't handle you at 100 proof. It's the Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Your liver can be full of fatty deposits, built-up toxins, and even dangerous objects known as liver stones. We worked with the top developers in the field of detox to take tried and true herbs and other compounds known to safely cleanse the liver and fuse it with the latest research and technological development on concentrating these ingredients to give you the maximum effect. Liver Shield is the only liver support product on the market that uses a patented Spigirex blend of powerful organic herbs that support detoxification. And when you visit InfoWarsLife.com, see the instructional video on how to do a 6-day liver detox. This isn't a game, and let me tell you, the results are dramatic. Liver Shield is totally organic and made of the safest high-quality herbs. But that said, you need to consult your physician before you do the full detox. Liver Shield can also be used daily by itself for overall upkeep of the liver. Secure your Liver Shield today exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com for the lowest price available. That's InfoWarsLife.com, or call 888-253-3139. Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're gonna crash and gonna feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. Knockout is back. If you want a product that has 10 known ingredients that naturally get your body to relax, your brain to relax, so you get deep, restful sleep, Knockout's it. InfoWarsLife.com. L-theanine, hops flower extract, lemon balm extract, valerian root extract, chamomile flower extract, L-tryptophan extract, melatonin, and more. All organic, all the natural sources. It's the same price as leading brands of melatonin that are 3 milligrams a piece. It has 3 milligrams, the standard recommended dose for an adult. It's got the GABA, so it would probably cost $50 to take all this as separate pills. It's $19.95. You take one or two of these, and it just is really clean, restful sleep is what the reviews are. It's what I've experienced. And it just synergistically puts everything in there. InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com. Or call 888-253-3139.
Joining me now is Mark Hall, producer and director of a new documentary film called Killing Ed, subtitled Charter Schools, Corruption, and the Gulen Movement in America. This is something that is very important. As Alex is pointing out, you need to understand what is going on. I support freedom of choice in education. I support parental involvement in education. But we need to very carefully look at the structures that we're going to use with this. Certainly, I think charter schools have a possibility of, and we've seen this happen, of crony capitalism. There's a lot of money in this pot. There's a lot of money. We're going to talk about how much money the largest organization, the largest network of charter schools gets is actually run by an Islamic imam exiled from Turkey and brought into the United States, and he has the largest network of schools. So, Mark, when you did this, you went for, I guess, really the worst case example of what can go wrong with a charter school.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Thanks for having me here today. Yeah, Killing Ed is really showing us the worst case scenario in this lightly regulated charter school system that we've set up in our country. I started shooting this film a number of years ago after seeing the Gulen movement and its schools grow in number here in Texas. Mm-hmm. They had the largest number of schools here in Texas, roughly about 46, I believe now.
Just added one today. You were kind enough to bring us a press release. And get this is coming from the Austin Police Department talking about a new Fethullah Gulen school that's being opened up here in Austin. That's one of the things that really came out in this documentary was how the Gulen movement has connected itself with law enforcement, with congressmen, with local and state government, with contractors, and all these different, but they really are totally connected. And of course, there were pictures in your documentary of Art Acevedo. We've also got Congressman McCall, who is head of Homeland Security. You would think he would know a little bit better. You would think that he would vet this. Maybe he does, because we've seen what's going on with ISIS in Syria and the Middle East. We've seen that when our government creates a terrorist, arms a terrorist, trains a terrorist, gives them money, they're moderate terrorists. We got that picture up on our website today, as a matter of fact. They have terrorist, and it has a guy in a balaclava holding an AK-47, and then next to him, the exact same picture, but it says moderate terrorist because in his left hand, he's holding a small American flag. Mm-hmm. And so we have talked about how our government has been involved with the creation of ISIS, with the creation of these jihadis, using them as surrogates in wars. But this is something that we all should be very much aware of, very concerned about, that this Islamic cleric who floated the idea of the Islamic State, of a transnational caliphate, way back in the 90s, and was thrown out of Turkey because of that, is brought into the United States by the CIA. They give him letters of recommendation. Rand Corporation, former bigwig there, gave him letters of recommendation. So he was brought into the United States, ushered in by the CIA, even though many people opposed him who knew what he was about. And now he's running the biggest network of charter schools in the United States, getting federal taxpayer money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we know that Fethullah Gulen came to the United States in 1999. He had been indicted by the Turkish government at that time for trying to overthrow the Turkish secular government. He was trying to install a theocratic government, and he came to the United States ostensibly on a medical reason for diabetes, I understand. And he set himself up in the Poconos of northeastern Pennsylvania, where he lives with several hundred of his followers. And he's operating this global Islamic movement from that location. Now,
that was very gutsy. In the documentary, you actually go to the gates of his compound.
Exactly.
It's a very gutsy move.
Right. We've been there a couple of times, and they're not happy to see us. They don't really want to live out in the open. It's a very secretive group. We know that their schools here in the United States are bringing in followers that follow him from Turkey, that believe in the Gulen movement's agenda. And they're teaching at these schools, not only here in Texas, but all over the United States.
There's a lot of instructors who come in from Turkey.
Absolutely.
And they always do this under the beard, just like they're doing the school that opens today. And as I remarked to you when we were during the commercial break, so this is a strange time of the year to open up a new school, in the middle of November. But they're opening up a new school. The Austin Police Department is going to be there, cutting the ribbon with them for this opening ceremony. And they call them the Harmony Public Schools STEM based curriculum, and that's science, technology, engineering, and math. But they always talk about the Harmony Schools of Science and Math.
Yes.
That's the beard.
Well, that is one of the things that they're using, I think, to get our support, to get our politicians' support, is that we're somehow needing more STEM, teachers, and we need more STEM educated students. But it's really just a ruse.
This is something people need to be aware of. There were many things that I learned from the film about the Gulen movement and the schools that they've created here in the United States. It is the largest charter school movement in the United States, actually the largest in the world. They've got 180 countries that they're in. Many people estimated over 1,000 schools worldwide. We just had another one open up here in Austin. And the Austin Police Department sent out a press release that Mark sent me today talking about how they have a new school opening here in Austin with 540 students. This is the way they expand. And, of course, we're seeing this all over the place. A couple of years ago, The Atlantic was talking about just in Texas, they were getting $100 million a year.
Right.
So this has to be a huge amount of money that is being channeled to them. Your documentary talks about what's going on in the educational establishment, the impact of charter schools, the possibility for corruption, for crony capitalism with the charter school mechanism, because there is a huge pot of money that is in the federal coffers that is being handed out to anybody that can meet these qualifications to start a charter school. So that is a problem right there, okay, that we need to look at. But you look at the very worst case, the Gulen movement. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, the new school that's open today is one of 6 here in Austin. They're educating roughly a little over 60,000 students across the United States now.
Wow.
And they're bringing in, many thousands of teachers who are followers of Imam Gulen on H-1B visas to teach at the schools. We talked a little bit about STEM education. A lot of the politicians that you see in the film are saying, we need to have more teachers that are qualified to teach these STEM subjects, science, engineering, these technology subjects. But really, it's a ruse. It's really a falsehood to bring in these followers from Turkey who are, they have sworn their allegiance to Imam Fethullah Gulen.
It is a religious movement.
It is a religious movement.
Transnational caliphate that he's trying to set up. He talked about an Islamic state and got thrown out of Turkey in the 1990s, brought into the United States then by the CIA to set this up. That's everybody's concern, is that what he is setting up here is not a bunch of schools of science and math, but what he's setting up here is Islamic madrasas, like he has set up and is explicitly done in Islamic countries.
Some of his detractors have called his educational institutions educational jihad, because what you see in the schools here in the United States and elsewhere is intense national Turkification of their children. So instead of teaching Spanish as a language in many of the schools here on the border of Mexico, you're seeing these schools primarily teach Turkish to these young children.
Yes.
And these are not Turkish kids. These are kids that come from a variety of backgrounds, Hispanics, Caucasians, African Americans. And, the question is, why are they being so intensively taught a love of Turkey when they should be taught something about our own country?
They bring them in with the beard of science and technology because that's what parents see as a future for their children. getting a degree in engineering or something like that. They can get a nice paying job with that. And yet when they come into